welcome to Your Personal Best. Today I'm going to be discussing the attributes of a coffee meal. And by a coffee meal, I mean not just plain coffee. So first of all, I'd like to address the value of using organic beans. Because coffee is one of the most highly pesticide crops in the world, I choose to use organic coffee beans that have no pesticide. Because of the fact that you can't wash the coffee beans off effectively, when you grind your coffee beans or if you get them pre-ground, all that pesticide has been now ground into your coffee and it's unavoidable. So we want to consume as healthy of products as possible, and this is one way we can do it, starting with organic coffee beans. So what I do, I either buy it pre-ground or typically I buy the whole beans that are organic again, and then I grind a certain amount that's available for me to make my cup of coffee every day. This is my favorite cup. It was a gift from my daughter-in-law, and it says, "Trust in the Lord." That's Proverbs 3:5. I love the cup because it was a gift, but number two, I love it because its size. It's generous. So I start with a healthy size cup of coffee. Now, if you're sensitive to caffeine, you may want to consider doing a water-processed decaffeinated coffee bean, again, still organic. That will cut down on the caffeine. Sometimes I mix the two. If I feel like my nervous system is affected by too much caffeine, I'll do half caffeine and then half decaffeinated, but whatever your choice. If you're a black coffee drinker, I would start there with the most basic elements to make your morning coffee a meal. First of all, I use, this is the particular brand that I like. It's called Garden of Life, and it's a collagen and protein powder mix. It has 18 grams of protein, and 20 grams of collagen. It also has a probiotic in it. I use a scoop and a half because the goal in your meals is to try to reach as close to 30 grams of protein as possible. By the late 20s, we start losing protein and the body's ability to make protein and convert protein. So it's essential that we get a certain amount, usually close to 30 grams as possible, of protein a day, or per meal, actually. The next thing that I would recommend is MCT oil. Now, MCT oil is organic coconut oil, and what it does, it's really great for the brain. It's a lot of healthy nutrients for the brain, and also it's a real great aid in your digestive system. If you're not using MCT oils currently, and MCT is medium chain triglyceride, that's what it stands for. I would start with 1 teaspoon into your coffee a day and see how that affects your digestive system. I've moved up to 2 teaspoons a day for myself. That helps keep my gut regulated nicely. The other thing that I would recommend is a product called BioSil. I use 6 drops of this BioSil, BioSil, which might be hard to see on the camera. BioSil, and this company that formulates this, I've been using it for many, many years, helps with bone density, skin, nails, your nails, and your hair health. I'll be addressing this later, but about 2 years ago, I went through breast cancer, chemotherapy, radiation, and 2 surgeries. And BioSil was one of the elements that I continued to use, with my doctor's permission, to help fortify all of those things. And so I successfully went through those treatments, and my skin was still maintained. In fact, my doctors would ask me, "What are you doing? No one goes through what you've gone through in our clinics." And I was with one of the #1 cancer centers in the United States. and I told them the various products that I used in my diet, and they strongly endorsed it. The other thing I do for flavor is I add a healthy dash of cinnamon. I try to get the organic ground cinnamon. It adds great flavor, but if you're a black coffee drinker, then you could stop there. I'm not a black coffee drinker, and so I'm going to share some of the other things that I do to make my cup of coffee a real treat in the morning and delicious, plus it delivers the protein and other elements that I need to start my day. I use a stevia that's flavored. Stevia is a natural sweetener, which is wonderful, but it has a rather nasty aftertaste. So I buy the flavored ones. This one I believe is English toffee. Yes, it is. But you can get it in vanilla. Usually your grocery store will carry it. I typically use, in this size of a cup, probably about 6 drops, but read their directions on, because some of them are formulated a little bit differently. But I use about 6 drops. The other thing that I add to my coffee is a extra heavy whipping cream. I was reading the back side of the carton. The reason I use this, to manage my blood sugar levels, I don't use half and half or whole milk, because there is still sugar, especially in the whole milk. You're going to be consuming sugar, which you may not want to do. So I do a tablespoon and a half, again, to this size of a cup. It adds some body to the coffee, which I enjoy, and I'm a big flavor person. So I also add this sugar-free caramel syrup. I use about 1 pump, maybe 1.5 pumps into my coffee. It's delicious, and it really is very easy to manage this, but the value here is the protein and the collagen combined. It's a great way to manage your weight. This usually carries me till about noon, as far as when I feel like I need to eat again. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm going to be posting the recipe on my website, which you'll see at the bottom of the clip here. And I just hope you have a very